What's going on, guys? BladeZilla here, and today we are taking a look at a gorgeous one from Heretic Knives. This is the Medusa Manual, and looks a little different compared to some of the other ones I've had up on the site, obviously. This is kind of their special edition. I don't know what they really call it, but it is a CEL shading in a Green Tanto, and let me tell you, ooh, baby. We've got a gorgeous one in store for you guys today to take a look at, to talk about, to do some comparisons with. More than anything, just sit back, relax, talk blades for a little bit here, and you know, have some fun. Have a beer, have a whiskey, have a Coke, water, whatever you're into, whatever time of day it is. There's no limitations. And I've got a little guest appearance actually from another Heretic knife, CEL knife, beside me here that will probably pop in at some point in this video just to kind of compare. Hey, I'm all about sharing the stuff, so it's cool. As a reminder, check out BladeZilla.ca. That's my site here in Canada. Lots of good stuff. Just discounted some 111 Arams, so I've got some of those. Adding a bunch of Rocksteads. Lots of good stuff. Some Stitch, special edition in their carbon fiber series, which is awesome. Some Koenigs. Oh my goodness. Some Shiro special editions as well. Collabs with Sinkovich. There's tons of stuff. CKF, ProTech, Microtech. TRMs, oh my goodness, there's the site is on and poppin', as they say. And who is it that says it? I don't know, probably me. So anyway, here we are, beautiful morning, and have a little bit of time to talk blades. So let's take a look at this guy. And I only have the one of these. These have been hard to find. Actually, I should say any of the Heretic knives in the CEL shading have just been very odd finds lately. They pop up without much notice. They do, from my understanding, pretty big batches of them, but they're gone quick. So you know what? Saw a couple, got opportunity to buy a couple pre-Blade show, and you know what? Let's unbox one and do a quick video on it while there's one available. Start with some measurements here. Coming in at 7 3/4 inch, so not a massive knife, but I don't get too held up by the length of this one. It's quite a tall handle and quite a tall blade, so it is pretty big in hand. So 7 3/4 roughly blade length of 3 1/8 sharp, 3 1/4 to the center of the choil-ish, somewhere in that conversation. Oh, and handle. People always ask me the handle. 4 1/2 to the end of that. Looks like a backspacer there. So there you go. There we go. Weight-wise on this, of course, we're going to weigh it. They're not ultra-light knives, as far as I know, but let's get a scale started here and try to get a weight on this, but it feels like it's probably 4 1/2, 5 ounces type of a thing. Let's see. And my little cloth as to not scratch the scale more than anything with this knife. Okay, 5.3. 5.3 ounces. So really, actually you can barely see that, eh? There you go, 5.3. The light's hitting it a very strange way. So 5.3, and it's kind of what I figured. I think I said 4 1/2, 5 ounces, somewhere in there. They're beasts, typically, for such a, quote, short blade, but you know, maybe one measurement that I should probably show is like the side width. I won't touch the knife or anything, but almost 2 inches thick, guys. Keep that in mind. To the top of that spine there, almost a 2 inch thick or tall knife. It's a big knife. They run on bearings, made in the US, flipper, MagnaCut, hard detent right now. That's going to break in because probably that. I don't know if it's a paint or how they do it. I'm guessing it's kind of a paint, so I'm guessing that detent needs to wear through that and get nice and silky smooth. Pretty standard for a lot of blade coatings, kind of the PVDs type stuff. We've got the grip tape kind of vibes going in the middle here. A lot of Microtech. You know, if you like the SOCOM Elite, you'll obviously really dig this just because of that grip factor. It is gorgeous. They've accented a lot of this with some white kind of throughout. So you get that kind of on the bottom here around the lock bar, a lot of the edges, and even up into around some of the blade zones, kind of in the middle, the spine. Really cartoonish. Looks really great. They did a great job on this particular one. I've done a video on the Medusa proper, and you know, they call this a Tanto, even though okay, there is a sharp straight line there, but it's really just like a thick spear. That's kind of how I see it. It's a great blade. I really liked it the last time we actually did a video on this. So last time I did a review on this knife, I thought that I really liked it. I really did like the Pariah as well. The Pariah is a much bigger knife, and you know, I will show that. That's the other CEL knife that I have here is a Pariah, and I think it's called a Tritium Button Gray or something. So you know, I may as well show that now just to kind of show the size comparison, and the fact that they're both that kind of cartoon shading just is a nice little touch. So the guest appearance, here you go. Another great knife. The Pariah, button lock, non-flipper, so they tend to have a little lighter detents compared to the Medusa. And you can flick this guy out. I'm not gonna even try with another knife in front of it. But there's a pair of stallions right there. Absolute gorgeous knives, and it's just so cool. I haven't decided if I want to do another video on the Pariah itself, considering I've done, I think, a DLC video and a regular video. I've always liked it. My preference was, I had a carbon one of these in a little while ago. It was a great knife. I just didn't think they executed the carbon quite as well as they could have, mainly around the spine. So for my opinion is, you know, if you're gonna get a Heretic knife, just get an aluminum. They seem to be beautifully done and no gaps anywhere. But the same action as the carbon, and quite frankly, a little less money too. But there you go. There's your guest appearance from the CEL Gray Pariah. Lots, you know, maybe I will do a video on this knife. It is pretty beautiful now that I'm looking at it under camera, and tons of light. Oh, great coloring too. The light grays, the dark grays, the blacks, the whites pop out. They even touched up the hardware on here, just like the other knife. They did a great job on these. Okay, cancel that. I'm gonna actually do a video on that at some point, probably in 5 minutes from now. Anyway, sorry, got distracted, got a little hangry and excited, got a little knifely. So back to this guy, to the Medusa. Gotta control the ADHD, I suppose. So they're calling this a Green Tanto, but they actually have quite a bit of kind of very light yellows kind of in here as well, almost gold mixes with the green. Yellow and green gold, so it really is quite well done. As I mentioned, in hand, I'm an extra large glove, and I've got a lot of room still on this one. So still have a little bit of room, but you know, for the size of the blade, sub 8 is typically my kind of cutoff, and fits quite nicely. And in fact, you feel very locked in with the addition of that flipper tab, and the first two kind of holes here, these kind of dents in, or whatever you want to call that, the contours of the handle, they really lock in your pointer and your middle finger really well. You feel locked and loaded in this guy. It begs the question, honestly, I wonder what a bigger version of this profile would kind of feel like. I bet it'd be awesome as well. Absolutely awesome. The grip tape, beautiful. You know, you're not using it a ton, but it is a nice little touch. Makes it feel a little more kind of tactical, and just has a nice look to it. Good depth, almost like a charcoal kind of look to it. It's quite nice. Internally, I don't think these have any skeletonization. No, they don't. Just given the price point, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I think these are, oh boy, I can't remember what the actual Medusas cost, just in like a black aluminum with a stonewash. The CELs, I thought, were around $450, $500 US. I could be wrong on that. It might be sub 5, somewhere in there, table, if you can get them. But typically they've been found at a lot of shows, so some of them even come in the boxes with little tags on them, which is kind of funny, just as showpieces. But I will say this, given that price point of the sub $500 market, given that it's got, you know, the hand element to it, that they are all kind of done by hand, you know, the expectation, I would not expect it to be internally milled in addition to all these other features. It just doesn't, you know, unless they wanted to double the price, fine, you know, make a high-end version that's $900, then, you know, mill away. But at this price point, I don't expect them to be doing that. Speaking of which, you do have that over travel stop, which, looking at it, quite a deep blade lockup on this, which I seem to recall from the other one. They really like a firm lockup on these knives. So you're at like 50 to 75% already. So that's interesting in itself, which is just, it's what they do on these, I guess. There is an over travel stop, which is accessible here. Big, thick, like T15s, kind of found throughout. Torques, even on the clip, externally attached, with a little ball there, which is awesome. I love these little, I always call them bag balls, but really quite nice. Easy in and out of the pocket, nice and smooth, having a ball bearing there. I like those. Not internally attached, but you still have big, deep jimping on the spine for your digging into the inside of your palm, or if you want to reverse hold it, it'll also allow for that as well. It's quite good. Very tactical knife. Very durable, right? Big, thick cuts in the jimping, but, you know, as you go down the blade as well, you got to remember this is, I want to say, in the 6 mil conversation on that blade. My tape measure is not going to nearly tell me what it is, but I should probably get some calipers and start measuring some of these blades, but it looks like it's around 6 mil, if I were to guess. You also have the Medusa V1 serial number. This one is number 2 from May 2025, so that's pretty cool. Serial number 2. So this is one of the first ones out of the batch. And as I mentioned, I don't know how many they made, but, you know, looking at Heretic's kind of Instagram, they do these in fairly big batches of, I want to say, like 10 to 20 at a time. So, and in different colorways as well, right? Not just green, but I think there's like blue and gray and black. There might be some reds as well. So fairly accessible, but at the same time, they are in such high demand, they go reasonably fast as well. So who's this for? Well, I would hope whoever picks this one up is someone who doesn't want to ruin it and use it. Like, I hate to say that because these knives should be used, but if you're a big fan of the knife brand and big fan of the design itself, I would hope you'd pick up a second one and use that. Because obviously the design is in fact very usable. It's just so well done and painted and done by hand, and I would hate for this to go into someone's pocket with some keys and scratch it all up. But you know, it is your knife, so you can do with it what you will. But likely a collector, someone that just loves the knife, loves the way it is, and you know, wants to collect serial number 2, which is so cool. And then I didn't even mention this. I talked about it on the Pariah itself, the hardware, the main pivot there. It's also painted quite nicely and stands out in a gorgeous way. There's a lot going on with this one. You know, sometimes I get so caught up in looking at all the milling on a knife, and internally you look at the milling and the Easter eggs they leave behind and all this stuff, and I feel like it's the opposite on this one, where the milling is normal. It's a very normally milled knife. The clip's got some nice stuff on it, but it's now all the detail on the paint and design that I'm paying attention to, where there's a lot going on here. Inside the jimping's all done, right? Like, that's all done. Inside the frame's all done. Inside the flipper tab's all done. It's just covered in detail, which at this price point I honestly don't expect, which is nice, and probably the reason they don't do too many of them, because I can't imagine they're making a ton of money at this price point on a knife like this, just how much time it takes to do. It's probably just a fun project for a small division at Heretic that you know, appreciates these details and gets to have a little fun, a little bit of leeway to create some cool stuff, some cartoons, CEL. It's just cool. And the green itself definitely is a winner in my books. It's I love green, I love blue, and I love red, and gold. So in this one, you kind of get a little bit of green, a little bit of gold, a lot of black. It's great. It's certainly done well. So they know what they're doing, guys. They're knocking it out of the park with some cool knives, cool designs, well executed. And yeah, I guess CEL shaded, Green Tanto, Heretic, Medusa, done very, very well. All right, guys, well, I think I'm going to leave you there. I was hoping for 10-15 on this one. I don't know where I'm at. I've stopped the video a couple times as I've gone to deal with a couple things, but hopefully got a nice video for you, and got to showcase a beautiful knife with a lot of detail work that is just a piece of art. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Check me out on Instagram, YouTube. You're here now. Throw a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel every Monday, Thursday, 7 a.m. Eastern for fairly longer videos in the 10 to 1 hour range, typically, depending on the knife, depending on my time, and depending on if I get sidetracked for an extra 45 minutes, mostly. And then TikTok as well, Facebook, and Threads, all that good stuff. Just find BladeZilla. Check out the site, BladeZilla.ca, and I guess until next time, we will catch you around. Peace.